Hi everybody! Welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. I hope you enjoy my painting videos. Today I decided to paint a flower and that would be Cosmos. Alright, this I think is the first time that I'll be painting it tutorial wise. I'll be showing you how to do it and we'll be doing some sort of layering and also light play, which is my favorite. I think whenever there is light, that subject, which is the subject of the light, will be my next painting subject. It's just my favorite thing to paint because I just love the effects, the what they call the skills that are involved. All right, as you can see here, my mixed media pad, which is size 11 by 14 inch, is already painted black because I don't want to waste your time, watching me paint how to background it. If you've got some materials that are already painted black, that is great because you don't have to do the painting, the backgrounding. So I decided to use a black background so that the yellow flower really, it's like popping out. It looks like it's gonna pop out of the canvas. And that's one also of my favorite subjects to paint, something that looks a little 3D, because we're painting 2D. So we might as well do something like an effect visually. Okay, so the colors that I'll be using for today's tutorial are as follows. We have black, oxide black, titanium white, yellow ochre, lemon yellow, green, and some cerulean blue. The green and the cerulean blue will only be used for the background. We already painted it black, but we'll be doing some sort of effect in the background even more later when the flower is already done or while we're waiting for some areas to dry. So I'm just so excited to sketch this one out, and I'll be using, okay, my yellow ochre to sketch the subject, okay, because it's springtime and I just love flowers. I love painting flowers because, they're really pretty. They're really pretty and they're very natural. Okay, so okay, I'm just checking if I'm filming. All right. So I'm going to sketch first the subject. So we're going to start with the center of the flower right here. So everything will be really, really raw, okay? Just to give us an idea of where things are going to go. Again, we're just trying to sketch here. Don't worry too much, okay? And then I'm going to go and create like a tiny cone. Okay, like that. And like that. Okay, very nice. And then we're going to do the petals. For the petals, I'm just going to do the general shape first before I do a lot of shaping, okay? The shape details. Let's just do the general shape first, okay? Also to proportionate the petals. Yellow ochre is kind of translucent, so it's not really, I hope you can still see it. Okay. I'm just starting, but I think I already like this. Sometimes you just have that feeling, okay? Again, the edges of the petal is not like this, okay? We will be reshaping it later. I'm just trying to proportion it because we should have 8, okay? 8, what do you call this, petals. And I can adjust my size if I have to. Okay, like that. And then let's do some like 3 more. We will be creating some shadowing later, which is also my favorite part. I just love painting effects like that. Okay. Okay. And also the last one. It should appear like that. And okay, like that. It's nice. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna create now the tiny details of the petals. Okay, as I told you, the shape, the edges of the petals are not like that. They're not just round objects, you know. They've got some shape to that to each petal, which I'm obsessed because they look so nice. These are like edges, sharp edges, but they're not really sharp. They are actually soft, but the shape is a little bit uneven. So what we did earlier was just to get the general shape of it. What we're doing now is to do some detailed shaping, you know, based on what it actually looks like in real life. All right, I love it. And if we have to make some adjustment, we will do that. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna underpaint the petals. So for the underpainting, I'll be using my yellow ochre, okay, and mixed with tiny bit of black. Okay. And the purpose of this is to mute the color down. In my last painting tutorial, I think some people were asking why I underpainted the sand part of my seascape with some dark brown, and then later on for the final look, I used some sort of light brown or creamy color. And I've answered that in my Facebook post and also in the video that the underpainting is necessary for the undertones and for dimensions and depth. So it's the same thing here. So I'll be using this almost muddy greenish yellowish color as the underpainting. Okay, I'm gonna add more black because I really want this to be quite dark. Okay, so I'm just gonna underpaint the flower, the petals. And for the underpainting, since it's very preliminary, you don't have to be very careful with how you like solidly cover each petal. Just make sure that it's it has some good coverage. Okay, it doesn't have to be like solid covered, but yeah, even if the black background is still peeking through the painted area, it's all right. The underpainting will only serve as the undertone and depth. Okay, this is not the actual color. Okay, but even if I told you that you don't have to think too much doing the underpainting for this, you should at least follow the shape of the petals, meaning you don't want to do vertical or diagonal brush strokes. You must retain, or I suggest that you retain more um, like brush strokes that are consistent with the shape of the petals. You know what I mean? Like, I hope I'm making sense. Um, I'm not really going anything of that direct. I mean, towards any direction that is diagonal or vertical. I'm more of a just following the shape of the petals. Okay, like this. I can go a little faster now since you already know what I'm doing. Again, I'm just using my yellow ochre plus black, okay, as the underpainting. And just a few more, just a couple of petals right here. Okay, like that. You can see that the background color, which is black, speaking through, right? That's the purpose of the underpainting. The first layer of yellow that you see here, the main purpose is to already cover that area so that when we do the highlighting portion, the black paint would rarely be seen. Okay, actually, it should not be seen. But I still want to um, black background this first as a whole. You know, I don't want to go into those tiny spaces, avoiding the flower shape. I don't want to do that. It's a little bit like complicated or very time wasting. This is more of a painterly way approach. I mean, there's no really right way of painting things, but it helps. You know, I'm not doing this for nothing. I'm doing this because it has some sort of effect that gives my painting life and also um, convenience as well, because it's not really hard for me to go into smaller details. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my. I really, did I don't remember telling you if we'll be using burnt sienna. We'll be using burnt sienna, by the way. I forgot to tell you. So now I'm gonna get my green. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my green. And I did not wash my brush. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of black to that so that it's toned down. Okay, and now I'm gonna apply a little bit of white so that it's not what do you call this? It's not translucent. White makes everything more look like pastel color. I'm gonna add yellow ochre to that. So I'm gonna color the cone, like this tiny cone here. Maybe I'm gonna add more yellow ochre to tone down the color. Okay, like this. Okay, just like that. Okay, like that. Okay, now while we're waiting for the petals to dry, okay, let's do the background. I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, and then I'm gonna get a different brush, a wider, a longer brush, so that we do the backgrounding first. We'll do some sort of light effects as well. So I'm gonna use my dry brush and I'm gonna dab onto my Cerulean Blue mixed with white, okay, and mixed with green. So it's like turquoisey color. And make sure to pat it on a towel so that you remove the excess water. And I'm just gonna create some patches right here. This will give it the idea that there are other plants existing or present, or this is a garden, something like that. That this is not just like that. This is not just about the flower. It's a garden. It's the setting. Okay. Now I'm gonna dab onto my green and my yellow ochre and tiny bit of black, just to tone down the colors. And again, I pat it on a towel, and I'm gonna create some green patches in the background to suggest that there are other plants existing. Again, I'm gonna apply a little bit of green right here. This is just a drama effect. You know, you don't have to do this. You can do away with this, but I want to make use of my time while waiting for the paints to dry. I mean, I love painting light. I love painting the light, so I might as well do a little bit of light effects down here. Gonna get my white and then slightly apply a little bit of white randomly down here. Imagine these are flowers that are being hit by the sunlight. Okay. And don't have to do this, but I suggest you do this. I'm gonna dab onto my black, mix with the colors that I already have on my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get back to some areas, just to make some negative spacing here and there. Okay, this is just the background. You don't want this to overpower the main subject, which is the flower. And as I told you, you can actually do away with this step. It's just that I don't want to do away with it. Okay. It's like abstract. I mean, it's like abstract because we already know um, what this suggests, but it doesn't really make sense if you just look at them solely, right? Like these colors make sense only because there is a flower. But if you look at this like only this, it doesn't make sense. That's why I call it just like abstract. Okay, all right. Now let's go back to the flower. I think some of the petals are dry enough for me to layer over them. So I'm going to get back to doing the petals, which I'm so excited about because this is what this painting is all about. Okay. So for the petals, for the first layer of yellow, I'm going to get my, okay, I'm going to get my, I should have gotten, okay, I do have here my yellow, my orange yellow. So I'm gonna use my orange yellow right here. Sorry. So I'm just gonna open it because it's not yet open. This is the first time that I'll be using my orange yellow color. Okay, perfect. Maybe I'm gonna add a little more. Okay, I'm gonna use this yellow orange color. It's pretty translucent, you can see. With some white, I'm gonna mix that with some white so that becomes more creamy and like pastel-y color. This will be the first layer of yellow. Okay. Now let's do this first. And I'm just gonna, perfect. I love the color. I'm just gonna do the layering, the first layer. Again, try to follow the shape of the flower. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same the same thing. Okay, the same thing over this petal. I'm doing a little bit of adjustment. I want this to be a little bigger. Okay, and then let's go to this area. I'm more careful this time um, because we're not just underpainting now. We are actually doing the colors of the petals that is very near the actual color. So I'm trying to be more careful. Okay. Okay, and then the same thing right here. Okay. It's nice. Right here. It's okay to paint over this area for now because we'll be detailing that later. Okay. It's okay. Just mix your yellow or sorry. Just mix your yellow orange. It's so hard to pronounce. Yellow orange with white. Okay, just continue. Just keep doing what I am doing here. Okay, I'm just gonna make this a little bigger. A little bit of adjustment right there. I love it. We're just starting. And if you've noticed already, yellows are, they tend to be more translucent. Okay. That's why some people say that it's just so hard to use yellow. That's because it's translucent. And for you to not get that translucence, if you're not needing that effect, you can add white to your yellow, whatever yellow that you have, and it will make it look more pastely. Okay. So I'm just gonna go over some area, I mean, all petals, I guess, because of the translucent yellow. I'm just gonna go over it so that I layer like like solid. This time we're gonna do a little bit more solid colors. Okay. Okay, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna use my green right here. I did not wash my brush because it's not really important. Okay, I'm gonna get my black, mix it with the green color. I'm gonna mute it. And I'm gonna use this like muted green, okay, for the shadow of this, what do you call this? The center of the flower. Let me just, it suddenly like got darker. Okay, I'm gonna create, okay, I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of yellow just to lighten the green color. I know for sure that I'll go back to this area later, especially when we do the highlights, but I just want this to be there already so that I don't forget. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little dark. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little dark. It's just too light. Okay. I'm gonna add more black to that green. And I'm gonna create some line. Okay, I'm gonna get my black and I'm just gonna go ahead and define this part. Okay, just like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my burnt sienna. As I told you, I just forgot to include that color. Okay. And also, let me just turn on the lights. It's quite dark. I don't know what happened. Okay. I'm just gonna turn on the lights. All lights actually just got dark. And I think that's because it looks like it's gonna rain. So I have me here my burnt sienna ready. And I think I have to like turn on the light, extra light. Okay. So now that it's brighter, I'm getting my burnt sienna right here. Okay. And then let's go to the center of the flower. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna plus black. And I'm going to create the underpainting for the center of the flower. Again, this is the underpainting. All right, just like that. I'm gonna get more black this time. I'm gonna darken this section. Okay, just like that. Okay, now using brown, using the burnt sienna color that I have here, I'm just gonna go around the petals. I'm gonna separate each petal. Okay, just like that. And I'm gonna add black. This is going to be a little darker. Okay, like that. Okay, just like that. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna lighten my brown. I'm gonna mix it with yellow. Just gonna lighten it. And I'm gonna create some sort of shadow. Okay, right here. Okay, like that. Then I'm gonna mix it with green again. Let's create some more shadows. Right here. And I'm just gonna cover that area. Mhm. Okay, just like that. For now. Okay, for now. And then using this color, I'm gonna go and create some lines or patterns on the petals. And then mix with brown. Okay, mix with brown again. We're gonna do some shadows. Right here. Okay, then we're gonna lighten that later. For now, let's just identify where the shadows are gonna go. Okay. Okay. I'm going to create more lines. Here. Okay. And also right here. Okay, and now let's do a little more highlighting. I'll be using a different brush or a clean brush, and I'm gonna dab onto my lemon yellow, okay, mixed with white. So I'm just gonna get uh, those two colors mixed together, like really, 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 really yellow, milky yellow. And then I'm gonna start applying this highlight on certain areas. Mm. Okay, and now while waiting for that area to dry because it's too, it's too wet, let's go back to the center of the flower. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna mixed with yellow ochre. So it's just lightening your burnt sienna with that color. And then let's create some more patterns. Okay, that's too light. All right, great. Now I'm gonna switch to another color. So I'm gonna get my yellow orange mixed with yellow and white. This will serve as the highlight. We're just going to do the same thing, only that we'll be highlighting it now. Okay. And then using this yellow color, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the right side. And of course, we need to make some definition right here. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get my white, okay, mixed with some yellow. And then I'm gonna create some highlighting, water down, okay, water down highlighting on the petals. It's raining. Actually raining outside. I'm just glad that I was already able to go for a walk this morning when it wasn't raining. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm just gonna brighten. You probably can hear it, uh, the raindrops. I mean, yeah, you can hear the rain. Okay. And then highlight the edges of the flower with some white, just to brighten it even more. Okay. There's thunder. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of thunders and lightnings. Okay. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna allow this first to dry before I glaze over it so that it looks a little more polished. I'm just gonna go back to the stem Actually, we haven't done the stem. So I'm going to dab onto my black. Okay. And I'm just going to create a little like that. Something like that. Okay. Just to finish it off. But we're not yet done. Okay. As to the flower. But we don't want to forget that one. Okay. And now, while waiting for the paints to completely dry, I'm going to go around the petals again. Just to clean some areas. For areas that I I painted outside the line, like this one especially. Okay, like that. And now I'm gonna water down my black. I'm just gonna apply that watered down black right here near the center of the flower. Oops, I just smudged it. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. That's the danger when the paint's still wet. Um, it's okay. All right, just like that. And then I'm gonna get back to my yellow orange color. Mix with yellow. Mix with yellow. And I'm just gonna go and glaze. Try to make the colors more solid looking. Okay. Paint over as well. You don't want to remove the lines that you did for those markings, but you don't want to have harsh lines. Okay, so if you glaze over that, it's gonna soften it, and then you'll have a like more soft looking petals. What is this? Okay, I'm just gonna use that again. So again, you don't want to paint over those lines, but you want to soften it. Okay. So I'm adding a little bit of pure lemon yellow right here, just to make things like lighter. Okay. And also you want to touch on the shadow part, because shadows are not just black. They also reflect the colors of the thing uh, that is being overcast. Okay, I keep smudging this area. It's really, really wet. That's why no matter how long I wait, it's just wet. So just be patient. Keep layering. Don't give up. Just like me. Keep layering. With all the layers that we did, it's understandable that this happens. Okay, this thing happens, but it's okay. Right here. Okay, I want to add yellows right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna glaze over this area. It's just too dark. It's just a shadow, so you don't want this to be too dark. While shadows are comparatively dark compared to the other parts of the painting, they should not be dark to confuse that with just black. Okay, they are not black. They are not black shadows. They are shadows. Um, they are there simply because of the absence of light, but um, they are not there to substitute any part of the flower with complete black color. I'm gonna get my pure yellow plus white, just to highlight a bit this area. Okay, and maybe I'm gonna add some sort of yellowish colors right here. Okay, I'm gonna get my smaller brush because I feel like my brush is too thick. Okay, so I'm gonna get, I already ran out of pure white, so I'm just gonna get my pure white. Okay, pure white. And then I'm just gonna go around the petals. And just like that. I'm gonna brighten this part near the center of the flower. And mix it with yellow. I'm gonna mix some of my colors with yellow. And then I'm gonna highlight this part. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow orange again. Just to apply it on certain areas. Oops. Mix it with tiny bit of brown. And then some black. Let's redefine this area because it got painted over when we were doing some glazing right here. Okay, let me just check it. Okay, this is looking nice. I love it. Okay, now I want to glaze it again because I love glazing, by the way. If you don't know already, I'm a glaze type of person. So I want to glaze it even more, but okay, let me just add more highlights. And then with some green and black, let's redefine, okay, this area. Okay. Using some black right here. I'm gonna clean, okay? I forgot to clean that part earlier. Okay, like that. And I think some areas are already dry for me to be able to glaze over it. So I'm just gonna get my yellow. Since yellow is generally translucent, so it's good for glazing. So I'm just gonna carefully glaze over. This is what I love about yellows. I mean, for this purpose, yellows are really good. Glazing. But for layering, you have to be patient because the translucence of yellow makes it so difficult to get a full coverage in one brush stroke. Okay. I'm trying to be careful not to smudge anything. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of green, okay, just to give it some sort of fold right here. Mm. Yeah. Okay, I love it. Now using white, just be careful when you apply the white so that you don't smudge anything. We're now highlighting. Okay, and then let's give it a little more dimension. Gonna get my black and green. I'm gonna go back to this area. Okay, just like that. Okay, separating it. Also this. I know these are subtle detailing that you probably will just ignore, but I don't want to ignore that. Okay, then gonna separate this petal by using super dark green color. Like that. Okay. Okay, just like that. I need some more highlighting. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight even more this side to make it extra, like extra bright, you know. I really want it to be suggestive of light play. So I'm just smudging some watered down white paint down here, give it like a bokeh effect. To add extra light to this painting. Okay. When it's dry, it's gonna look better. All right. Do you think? Okay, just gonna add some brightness. Gonna get my white and brighten on this petal. Gonna get my yellow and apply a little bit of yellows up here. Okay, just like that. Highlighting. I'm gonna use more yellow. I'm just gonna color this, like this area, to suggest like almost the two petals are joining together. Because of too much light, too much brightness, you just couldn't see that they are separated, you know? Okay, let me just clean that. Wow, so nice. Okay. Let us redefine the shadows because I think I already lost the shadow. Okay, and some orange again. Okay, I like this one. Okay. And then I'm just gonna brighten this petal. And then let's do some more cleaning right here. Okay. Let's add some yellow orange on the center. All right. I think we're done. I really like this one. I must admit that it's really challenging simply because of the layering that is involved. But generally, when you're done, I mean, it's all good. So I'm going to get my titanium white to sign my painting. And I'm going to sign just about here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So we're done, guys. And I hope you enjoyed that one. And I hope you paint along with me. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you're painting along with me, let me know in the comment section below as well. So see you in my next one, guys, and have a great week ahead of you. Bye. Love you.